Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is DDubble. You can just call me Dell. And today I am bringing to you our GBU draft analysis. Before we get the video started, if you guys can, please show some love. Likes down below, turn on bell notifications, click subscribe if you're new and this is your first time on the channel. I like to make Draft League content, the occasional funny YouTube short meme and things like that. And if that's up your alley, please stick around because I've got a whole lot more for you. GBU is the start of something big for us. We've been in a bunch of leagues. This is the first post-DLC league going on YouTube. As far as I know, this is the first one, which is pretty exciting. As of right now, we had pick 2, which is a wonderful thing to have in post-DLC Draft League, especially when the league commissioner and everybody allows Darkrai. Which means Darkrai is allowing us to snag our first pick, which is objectively the best Pokemon in draft. This is Chien-Pao, outside of like Dragapult, of course, but I've used Dragapult on the channel before. Darkrai got picked, so this is the obvious pick at that point. Chien-Pao's just broken. There's nothing really more to say about it. I've never seen this Mon not make playoffs, which is something we're looking to do this season. Chien-Pao is just objectively the best Mon in the format. It hits extremely hard. There's not a lot of checks for it in the format. Ice Shard, Sucker Punch is wonderful priority. Crunch, Sacred Sword, Icicle Crash, Icicle Spinner, and Psychic Fangs. There's your coverage. If you want to get really in-depth with it, it does get Recover and a whole bunch of other stuff. But you don't need to think about that. This is a click button Pokemon. You put boots on it, you put a band on it, you put a scarf on it. Black glasses, that's it. You don't overcomplicate it. Click the button, forehead, duh. And the whole plan with this was to kind of just draft mons that are going to help this guy out. So our next pick ends up being Iron Treads. I think this pairs really well with Chien-Pao. Really good speed tier at 106. Offers us Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin, 2 things that can really come in handy for Chien-Pao, being Hazard Support and Hazard Removal, obviously. A wonderful Steel type, one of the best ground types in the format. Can be booster, a lot of different cool sets that you can run with this guy. Offensive capabilities as well as defensive is always a good thing. Gonna keep it short and simple. He's a wonderful Pokemon. You're gonna see a lot of him in our battles. He's probably gonna be an every week type of Pokemon. Very seldom are you not gonna bring your Steel type, especially in Gen 9 right now. But yeah, I really like how Treads pairs with the Chien-Pao, hence why we grabbed him at our next pick. Moving into round 3, I wanted to get some bulk, I want to get a little synergy, a slow pivot into said Chien-Pao once again, try to keep that going there. We grabbed Slowking, regular this time, not Galarian, so we do have a Water and Psychic type in a Slowking. Good Spadef wall, slow pivot with Chilly Reception, which is actually really nice into Chien-Pao, because Ice types do now get a boost to their defenses in the snow, like how Rock types get a boost to their Spadef in the sand. So that's pretty cool. Fun little niche interaction there. Oh, excuse me. Reliable recovery, everything along those lines. I think this is a great pickup in our 3rd slot. Round 4 came around, and as you can see, that's not our team at the bottom. Round 4 came around, and our good friend, Odds, aka Brody, was like, man, you know, I don't really want Iron Moth. And I, at the time, had picked Thunderous Therian form. Brody could have used Thunderous Therian form. I really wanted Iron Moth, but I got sniped of it because, like we saw, this pick was happening in round 3. Didn't really make sense for Brody to keep it because he already had Galarian Slowking. Made perfect sense for me to get it, so I offered Brody a trade. I was like, hey, I'll trade you Thundy for Iron Moth, and then later in the draft, we can trade a different pick. Like, I'll grab a Fire type for you, and you can grab an Electric type for me. So that's what we end up doing. I end up with Iron Moth, who was picked in round 3, in round 4, which is awesome. Super great value for the team. Another really good Fairy Breaker, which can help out with Chien-Pao checks. Another weakness to Rocks and another weakness to Earthquake, but I'm not overly concerned about those because it's more of an offensive presence that this guy brings. Yes, it can be revenged in that sense, but Scarf sets, Acid Spray subsets, Booster Energy, Choice Specs, this thing hits like a tank, and it has really good Spadef. So I don't have to worry about it all the time. It's going to be checked offensively most often. Not a lot of stuff really wants to switch in on it, which is always nice. So Chien-Pao's here. Really good Fairy Killer. Pairs really well with the Iron Treads as well. And yeah, pretty happy about the pick, not going to lie, especially after getting it traded from our good friend Brody. So big shout outs to Brody. Thank you very much for this one. I hope you enjoy Thundy T. I hope you make good use of it. I will be keeping Iron Moth very close to home, and he will not be leaving us this season. So our next pick ends up being Gardevoir, mainly for speed tier, and a lot of the fairies got sniped before they made it back to us. It's kind of the downfall of being a high pick. Obviously, I'm not going to complain because I did get a very good team. I think I objectively have one of the best, if not the best team in the draft, strictly from a Mon standpoint. Gardevoir, phenomenal. Trace, you run Specs, you run Scarf. It's got a perfect speed tier at 80 for it. Healing Wish is also a really nice option on it now, and it does get Vacuum Wave access now too, which is super nice. Having that special priority, always a good thing, especially in draft, where, you know, sometimes your Choice Scarf Mon doesn't outspeed something, and it's nice to be able to actually get a hit off before you do go down, especially on a lot of things that are going to come in to try to revenge it. So pretty happy about this decision. Gardevoir picked up as our Fairy type. We are double Psychic. I don't think it really matters in the format. Ghosts are really prevalent, but at the same time, there's a lot of ways that you can offensively deal with those, and Knockoff being almost everywhere again is super nice. So yeah, that's our guard at pick 5. Pick 6, we end up with Chestnut. Now, I've used Chestnut before. I like Chestnut. Problem, I didn't really want it with this draft. It does pair very well. Spikes, stack hazards are super nice for me. I'm not in love with the quad weakness to flying. I do think flying is one of the best offensive types in the gen right now, and a lot of people won't really agree with me on that. That's fine. You don't have to. But considering how good a neutral click it is into most teams, like most teams don't have a bulky electric, and most teams don't have like a bulky rock or, you know, bulky flying resist. Like, you do have the steel types running around, but they're often pressured by other things, and I think flying spam is one of the best things that you could have in a draft. So Chestnut, good Pokemon, phenomenal, very good defensive stat, lots of access to like Taunt, Leech Seed, Synth, Spiky Shield, good support Pokemon, as well as being offensively potent. Trailblaze, Belly Drum, the usual suspects. Yeah, I wasn't stoked on it, but everybody was pretty convinced that it fits the draft pretty well. I do think it fits the draft really well. I'm just not sure how I'm going to use it, so it's going to be a bit of an experiment this year. He's kind of our boomer bust pick. I'm not too concerned, though, because it just synergy-wise fits very well on the team. So happy to have him. And yeah, that's Chestnut at pick 6. Pick 7 for us was Cleavor, and this is a guy I've been wanting to use for a while. I was super happy he fell to 7 because I see him go in like round 4 sometimes. People take him very high. Another rock setter for us, which is a big thing, Stone Axe. It does get defog. I'm probably not going to use it as removal unless I need like a move slot filled. Then I'll probably chuck him in there. But he's not really meant to do that. He's meant to be an offensive threat. You know, Swords Dance, Trailblaze, Sharpness boosted moves are always nice. X-Scissor and Stone Axe, like I said, it sets rocks anytime it clicks Stone Axe, which is great. Being able to hit something as well as get rocks up is always a wonderful thing. Boots, Scarf, Banded. I've even seen AV with it in certain people's sets. So you could do a lot with Cleavor. I think it's a really great pick for us here at pick 7, value pick. Yeah, pretty happy with it. Pick 8 is our other trade with Brody. So I picked Talonflame for Brody, and he picked Kilowattrel for me, and then we did our little swap. This is our Terra Captain. We went with Terra Flying and Terra Water. So in terms of what it realistically offers us, because it is a Terra type, Terraing to water is the main aspect of it. You know, like, because we have Volt Absorb as an ability, really nice. It does also get competitive in Wind Rider, which can come in, you know, they're very, very helpful in certain matchups. I'm not going to divulge too much there, but there are a couple matchups where you probably will see competitive, and you might even see Wind Rider, just based on how certain Pokemon work. I think Kilowattrel is a wonderful addition in this team. Gives me that speed tier below Chanpao, but above Iron Treads, which is really nice to kind of bridge that gap so people aren't just creeping one Pokemon and being okay with that. Forces Scarfers on a much higher speed tier, which is always nice to deal with, because most of the things that are like super fast are super frail. So yeah, Kilowattrel, big pickup for us, really spammable. If you guys are coming, you know, if you've watched any PPL content as well, Mountay just had a career season with this guy, and it was in one of the top 5 kill leaders, which is just absolutely insane. So Big shouts. Kilowattrel is going to be a really good Pokemon. I'm very excited to get to use it. Pick 9 is Haxorus. Now, at this point, we didn't have a dragon, and I was really just like, well, I don't really know what to pick. We have to have 9 Pokemon at least on the team, and this really limited my points. However, I think Haxorus is a really good shout. 97 speed tier is a perfect fit between our Iron Treads and our Cleavor there. Makes for some really fun speed creep interactions. D-Dance sets are really potent. Mold Breaker is really annoying. Unnerve's a really underappreciated ability as well, especially in matchups where you know something's going to have a resist berry on it. That thing not being able to have that resist berry benefits greatly. D-Dance is just so powerful. And I mean, you can even just Bandit Outrage it if you really want. Like, its team doesn't have a Steel type, or a team doesn't have a Fairy type, you just go click button, burr, blow through a team. Super excited to get to use Haxorus. It is a mon I've never tried before, and I really like its shiny. So I'm super excited to kind of get to try him. I think he'll be a fun little asset for the team, and I'm really looking forward to it. And our final...
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night. I can...
So yeah, that's our draft. If you guys did enjoy and you're excited for this season, like I said, please leave a like down below. If you join our channel memberships, you will have the opportunity to nickname any of these Pokemon on the screen. Like I said, channel memberships are down below. Also, big thank you to our partnership for this video, Freshen Up Energy. If you use code DEL, 20% off at checkout. Go check them out. They'll be in the description down below as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Happy Saturday, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.